Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Well, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Now a throw here out wide. He might be looking to throw this again, but he's not going to be able to get rid of it. He's going to be tackled behind the line.
Incomplete. It's third down and 13.
Third down and 13. Back to throw. Morrison. That's complete. It's Jalen Roll. And he is going to have a Cardinals first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary. Figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
Open man, the tight end Warren. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. A few moving pieces on that play because that was an RPO, was it not?
It was, but one important piece that didn't move incorrectly, the offensive line. Because when you're running this play, as he continued down the line of scrimmage, sometimes the lineman can wander downfield. If you're more than a yard downfield, it's illegal to throw the football at that point. But they held their ground, held their spot, and turned it into a nice game.
A gain of 3 on the play. First down, Arizona.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Up the middle they go. It's Leonard. That's some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone. 18 on that one, and the Cardinals have a first down.
It's a big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
Well, this has been a good march down the field, but now they're stuck looking at a 2nd and 14. Operating from the gun, Morrison. He finds his man, complete. It's Leonard. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. A 24-yard touchdown. And the Cardinals are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
And that's another route that defenders would vote to take out of the game.
The wheel route?
Oh, without a doubt. You're just trying to move everybody in one direction. And whether it's a running back or another receiver, as they zip out on the sideline, you've got a problem on your hands.
Yeah, well, the defenders hate it there. It happened, and it resulted in a touchdown. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
At their own 35-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to crush your lead in a big way. The best way to do it, touchdowns.
The second down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there.
Brings up 3rd and
Sometimes your
10.
philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. And that is incomplete.
That might be the third down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback.
20-yard line.
Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. Throwing to start the drive. Morrison. And that is incomplete. The coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now a handoff up the middle. Leonard fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going into the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
From the gun on third down. Morrison. He's got him in. Complete. And all the way down to the 36-yard line. A huge play there for Arizona. 43 yards. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Up the middle they go. It's Leonard. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. A great effort there with his 17th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Cards are back within a score.
Makes the score.
Extra point splits the uprights. And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. And that one not returnable, not by a long stretch, over the back line of the end zone, so that's going to be spotted up at the 35-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Second down and 8. Looking to throw. Steele. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. And he finds a man with a crossing route. Down the sideline he goes. And touchdown! Ty Felton with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And they're able to add on to their advantage. Point after, right down the middle. And his guys will take a 10-point lead.
Tigers 24, Cardinals 14.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that's going to skip into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. A little bit of flip the script. Quarter one, they struggled. Quarter two here, they put things together. And I guess sometimes, Charles, you just come out and you have to get your feet underneath you in the ball game, right?
That's exactly right, because every now and then you don't come out of the gate as fast or as strong as you want to. Sometimes you have to ramp up into it or take a few hits along the way and figure it out. And that's what they've done so far. Slow start, but now they're starting to put it together.
Caught here, right side, no. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's second down.
A gain of a yard brings up 2nd and 9 at the 34-yard line.
Back to throw. Morrison. That's over the middle into the hands of Noel. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
They'll look to throw again. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
A 1st and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a one-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. Here's a diving catch right side. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half.
10 at the 21-yard line.
Okay, break. 19 tight. 19 tight. Ready.
Back to throw again. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Down the field, he's got Moore. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone.
19 yards.
That puts him in excellent position, 1st and goal after a gain of 19.
First and goal at the 2-yard line.
Looking to throw. Morrison. And now here's another interception. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
First and 10.
I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years, but here we go.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And he will not bring it out. It's a touchback. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner,
yeah, they went into the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
Brings up third down.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
From the gun on third down. Steele. Now he's into the clear again. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. Ty Felton with career touchdown number 60. And the Tigers come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter. Extra point right down the middle. And that'll make this a three-score game now. The lead moves to 17.
14.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that one going to hop into the end zone, and it'll come out to the 20. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. Throwing to start the drive. Morrison. He's going to let this one go deep. And boy, another ill-advised throw there, as that will wind up incomplete.
Brings up second and 10.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
And second and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And he will not get all the way home, but he will take this back down to about the 2-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in.
And it's caught. Touchdown. Ty Felton. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Tigers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
The kicker on
Now the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead.
38. Cardinals 14.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
23-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
The big play to start him out. Has him at the 45 already. Back to throw. Morrison. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Another big play as they get 28 out of that one.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
On first down, it's Leonard. 76 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
He finds his man, complete. That's Leonard. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. From 21 yards away. And the Cardinals get a bit closer. Point after here coming up. And that one cuts this to a 17-point spread.
Makes the score Tigers 38, Cardinals 21.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 35-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Still operating with a comfortable lead despite the score a moment ago as they begin 1st and 10. And he's got some space here. Down the left sideline. Inside the 10. And all the way in for the touchdown. A great play there. 65 yards. And the Tigers get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Extra point splits the uprights. And the lead is now 24.
Tigers 45, Cardinals 21.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And a pretty poor kick here. It doesn't make it to the landing zone. And that means he'll move the ball out to the 40-yard line. Looking to put a drive together.
Let's go now.
Now a handoff up the middle. Leonard. And he stopped immediately there. Now it's 2nd and 10.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10.
Looking to throw. Morrison. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves him with 3rd and 9 looming.
It's a gain of a yard. And it's 3rd down.
Back to throw. Morrison. Had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
As soon as he leaked out and began his route, someone on the defensive side broke with him and arrived just in time to separate him from another reception.
Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th. They'll They'll try and throw for it here. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation. But they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on or they're trying to show extreme confidence.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 10 more there and another first down.
First and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Up the middle they go. It's Leonard. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
But that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Now a 2nd and 6. Looking to throw. Morrison. Look here, it's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. Back to throw. Morrison. He finds his man, complete. That's Leonard.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Looking to throw. Morrison. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Morrison. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Looking to throw. Morrison. Touchdown, Cardinals. Tyler Warren from 13 yards out. And the Cardinals are able to cut into that deficit.
The big fella was the recipient there for that touchdown pass, and it seems like more and more the tight end is the guy you have to worry about most in the passing game.
The Cardinal offense not going anywhere. They'll stay out and go for 2. And he's got it for the 2-point conversion. So they tack on a pair more here to narrow that deficit a bit further. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this one definitely not in the landing zone. In fact, it's over the back line. So this is going to come out to the 35. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
89 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times. They go play action here on first down. Throw left side complete. That's Washington. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards. So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10.
At the 20-yard line.
Hands it off out of the gun. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Final minute now of the 3rd quarter. They'll try the left side. Harper. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets them up 1st and goal.
They're making it look easy out there. Another 1st down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Right back to him on 1st down. He had to fight that time. Ran through 1 tackle, but ultimately he's only going to get back to the line of scrimmage.
It's a loss of 1. Brings up 2nd and goal at the 5-yard line.
So both offenses come to life here in this 3rd quarter as this is shaping up for a good finish. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal.
Here we go, set. 18 Cardinal, 18.
That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up. And that was a heck of a play there on the outside.
Partner, sometimes I think on a play like this as a corner, you've got to think to yourself, all I got to do is slow him down so others can come over and support. But in this case, he said, forget that. I've got this. Sorry you had to make the run for nothing, fellas.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. Touchdown! Malik Neighbors, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Tigers add on to their lead, and they are also closing in on a 5th straight victory. The extra point up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 23.
52. Cardinals 29.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And after all those wins that they've reeled off, it seems that they finally have met their match in a big 4th quarter hole. But still, what a run it's been. It feels like they have not lost in forever. The free safety roaming all the way up to the line of scrimmage to make that stop.
How about his ability to trust his eyes and figure out it was not a pass play and go fast towards the line of scrimmage in order to make that tackle?
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Boy, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. What we just saw there, that's really been a common theme all afternoon.
A lot of pressure. That forced the errant pass. He's been under duress this entire afternoon. He just had to unload that one. He's fortunate it was just incomplete and not intercepted.
Cut 19. Cut 19. Let's go. Go.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to air one out. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And they work this well upfield across the 45. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. Fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I looked down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked in the distance you need. And that's exactly what they got done.
A short one there, caught by Warren. And he will go out right near the 35-yard line. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last two plays. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Over the middle, and there's a diving catch.
15 more yards.
Now they'll change things up.
Cardinals first down. 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Now we're going to get a stoppage here as we've got an injured Cardinal on the field. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. 2nd down and 6 now.
Warriors, let's go now.
Back to throw. Morrison. Got his man. It's Warren. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
Brings up 3rd.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
9th play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Leonard. He is going nowhere as he is enveloped behind the line.
It's a gain of a yard. Brings up 4th down and 1.
Oh, they're changing this at the line.
19, Panther 11, Panther 11. 70 Rangers, 70 Rangers. Mustang 19.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Cardinals. From 4 yards out. And the Cardinals are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. He's got them out now to a 3-score lead here in the 4th quarter after that one, CD. And well, he looked right off the line like he knew that that ball was coming his way, and he secured it for 6 points.
Yeah, I think when you're leading by a healthy margin already, it actually loosens you up and allows you to take maybe a few more chances and definitely play with more confidence because he certainly saw something he could exploit in the defense. He made sure to let his quarterback know, just get it to me. And the rest was all up to him, and he delivered and made it a 3-score game.
And this one definitely not in the landing zone. In fact, it's over the back line of the end zone. So this ball will come out to the 30 now. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard. But they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives. And I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pull it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would have, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
So from the 37, here's a 2nd and 8. the middle they go. It's Harper. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. First target, first catch, and a first down. Coming up on the final 2.5 minutes. And boy, has it been fun to watch this offense operate. Quite the display, and now they look to polish it off. And boy, showing how tough he can be to bring down, just fighting his way forward to pick up 7 yards. Good gain there on first down, and it keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. Second down and 3.
43 rails.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Harper. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
3rd and 2. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. That one taken in by Neighbors. They only get 5 out of that quick slant, but that's good enough for a first.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Now a 2nd and 2.
The 25-yard line.
Now a handoff up the middle. Harper. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first. Starting to look like this drive, it may be the final nail in the coffin.
Well, this is why you work out so hard, right? This is why you spend all that time in the offseason. This is why you have those OTAs and mini camps. For these situations, these scenarios, to run someone into the ground and secure a victory.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for Buenos Aires, they just keep on rolling as they move to 9-2 with a win here. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Baltimore Ravens. Meanwhile, for the Cardinals, they go down to defeat for just the 2nd time in 11 games so far. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our